If you saw my last video, I showed you how I trained Claude to edit my YouTube videos with me. Today I'm showing you the other half, the skill I trained Claude to use after the video is done. The skill that writes my titles, my descriptions, my thumbnails, and tells me which one will actually get clicked. I haven't written a YouTube title from scratch in months. Claude does it. And it's not just doing it, it's doing it better than I was. Here's the truth most creators do not want to hear. Your title and your thumbnail decide 90% of whether anyone watches your video. The video itself is almost a bonus. You can have the best content on YouTube, and if your title is weak, nobody clicks. You can have a mediocre video, and if your title is sharp, it explodes. For 3 years, I was the bottleneck on my own channel. I would finish editing a video at midnight, and then sit there for another hour trying to write a title. Then another hour trying to write a description. Then another hour designing a thumbnail. By the time I uploaded, I was exhausted, and my title was the worst version of itself. Then I built this skill, and everything changed. Let me show you exactly how it works. First, the reality check. Most people use Claude or ChatGPT for titles the wrong way. They open a chat and they type, "Give me 10 YouTube titles for a video about X." And they get back 10 generic listicle headlines that look like every other video on YouTube. That's not what this is. A skill is different. A skill is a file you give Claude that contains everything Claude needs to know about you, your channel, your audience, and your style. So when Claude writes a title, it's not writing a generic title. It's writing a title in your voice, for your tribe, that fits your channel's pattern. My skill knows that my audience is solo operators and CEOs who want to use AI as a craft, not a shortcut. It knows the words my audience uses. It knows the titles that worked on my channel and why. It knows the titles that flopped and why. When I hand Claude a finished video, Claude does not guess. Claude already has the context. That's the unlock. Quick proof this works. The video you watched yesterday on my channel. The one about how I trained Claude to edit my videos. The title on that video was written by Claude using this exact skill. I gave Claude my finished script. Claude gave me back 5 title options. The one I published was the 8-step Claude workflow that replaces human editors. That title pulled in more views in 12 hours than the previous 6 videos on my channel combined. Now let me show you exactly how I do it. Open Claude. Pull up your finished video script or your SRT. Step 1. Hand Claude the script and the skill. I drag my finished script into Claude. Then I drag in my published skill. The skill is a markdown file, about 3 pages. It contains my channel description, my audience tribe profile, my best titles from the last 12 months, my worst titles and why they flopped, and the formula I use for thumbnails. This file took me about 4 hours to build once. I have used it on every video since. Step 2. Claude analyzes the script. I give Claude one prompt. Read this script. Using my publish skill, tell me what audience this video is targeting, what they will click for, and what the ideal title structure is for them. Claude reads the whole thing. Then it gives me a short paragraph. Audience this targets. Click trigger. Recommended structure. This is not the title yet. This is the foundation Claude is going to build the title on. And this is the step almost everyone skips. Step 3. Claude generates 5 title candidates. Now I prompt Claude. Using that analysis, give me 5 title options. Each one should follow the formula in my skill. Each one should be under 60 characters. Each one should include the primary keyword. Score each one 1 to 10 based on how well it matches my proven pattern. Claude gives me 5 titles, each with a score, each with a 1-sentence explanation of why it scored that way. I read all 5. I pick my top 2. Sometimes I see one that is so good I do not need a vote. Step 4. Run the finalists through vidIQ. I take my top 2 candidates and I score them in vidIQ. vidIQ gives me a click-through rate prediction. I send those scores back to Claude. Claude takes the winner and asks me, "Do you want me to write the description and the thumbnail brief for this one?" I say yes. Hit pause if you are getting value from this. Drop a comment with the word skill, and I will release my published skill as a free download next week. Now back to it. Step 5. Claude writes the description. This is the part most people totally skip. Your YouTube description is not just for SEO. It is the second click point. People who click on your title and then read your description are way more likely to subscribe. I prompt Claude. Write the full description. First 200 characters need to hook above the fold. Then a 4-line summary. Then chapters from the SRT. Then a link section. Then a tag block. Then hashtags. Claude writes it. All of it. In under 30 seconds. And it weaves in the secondary keywords from my skill file naturally. I read it once. Maybe I tweak one line. Maybe I do not. Step 6. Claude writes the thumbnail brief. Now I prompt Claude. Based on the title, write the thumbnail brief. Composition, color palette, text overlay, my facial expression, and any objects in frame. Claude writes the brief. For example, Tim leaning forward, slight smirk, looking at camera. Cream background with orange accent. Text overlay top right, 2 words, all caps, 90 pixel font. Claude logo small in lower left corner. Stat callout bottom right. That brief goes straight to my designer, or straight into Photoshop, or straight into an image generator. Either way, I am not staring at a blank canvas trying to figure out what should be on the thumbnail. Step 7. Upload. Title goes into YouTube Studio. Description goes into YouTube Studio. Thumbnail goes into YouTube Studio. Schedule the upload. Done. The whole process. From the moment my video finishes rendering to the moment everything is scheduled. About 20 minutes. That used to be 3 hours of staring at a blank screen at midnight. That is the entire system. 8 steps. About 20 minutes. 0 blank screen paralysis. So why does any of this matter beyond Tim saves time? Here is the math. A creator who publishes 3 videos a week and spends 3 hours per video on titles, descriptions, and thumbnails is burning 9 hours a week. Almost a full workday on packaging. With this skill, that becomes 1 hour total. For all 3 videos combined, 8 hours a week back. Every single week. Forever. But the bigger win is not the time. The bigger win is consistency. When you write your own titles, your good days and your bad days show up on YouTube. Some titles are great, some are flat. Your channel signal becomes inconsistent. When Claude writes your titles using a skill, every title is at the level of your best title. Because the skill captures your best work and pattern matches against it. That is what I mean when I say Claude is my partner running this business. Claude is not replacing me. Claude is replacing the worst version of me at midnight when I am too tired to think straight. The good version of me wrote the skill. The good version of me trained Claude. And now the good version of me runs every video. Every time. That is the AI savvy CEO model. You codify your taste, you hand it to Claude, and your taste runs on autopilot at 100% quality 24 hours a day. That is the system, step by step. The exact way every title, every description, and every thumbnail on this channel gets made. If you want my published skill as a free download, drop the word skill in the comments and I will release it next week. Next video, I am showing you the third skill, the one that listens to my finished video and tells me which moments to clip for shorts. The full Shorts Factory workflow. The piece that closes the loop and turns one long-form video into 10 shorts in about 15 minutes. Subscribe so you do not miss it. I will see you in the next one.